With Cardano's biggest governance upgrade right around the corner, I want to break down everything that you need to know as an ADA holder in order to get prepared. Now, this will be for the Plomin hard fork, named after the late Matthew Plomin, the founder and the president of USDM or Moneta, who's developing the fiat-backed stablecoin. So without any further ado, let's jump on in. What's up, ADA Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As I've just laid the foundation there, we've got one of the biggest governance upgrades coming into Cardano. And as a part of today's brief update, while I do recognize that it is the holiday season, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, I want to quickly get this update out as we're anticipating this hard fork to take place within the next month or so. Now, if you aren't aware, we've already had the first portion of the chain upgrade. We're now awaiting the second piece, which will take us out of bootstrapping and officially put governance in the direction of Cardano's development back into the hands of the community or the traditional ADA holders. Now, if it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're just jumping in here and you do appreciate it, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Now, without any further ado, we're diving right on in here. We've got the official Intersect MBO confirming, the fact that the Plomin hard fork governance action has now been submitted on chain. So what does this actually mean? Well, it means that you as an ADA holder, a stake pool operator, or a DREP now have a say as to whether or not you agree that we as a Cardano community or as the Cardano community should be moving forward with this particular upgrade or hard fork or not. So again, I'm going to break down all the different resources, but in a nutshell, I want to briefly recap exactly what this means for the community. So in case you've missed it, this has now been submitted, right, for the mainnet, and all of the different platforms here when it comes to Explorers have now begun to integrate a lot of governance related features. Now, I, for myself, am really loving what AdaStat has to provide. But you can also get a lot of really good information from GovTools, Cardano Scan, C Explorer, Tempo.vote, as well as there's a Governance X bot, which keeps a community updated. So I'll leave the links to those down below. Now it states here that this particular action represents the ending of the beginning for the on-chain governance for Cardano. And if enacted, this particular action will enable full governance as described or outlined in SIP number 1694. And again, that brings that to the mainnet, exiting the technical bootstrapping phase, which we're currently in right now. Now, following this particular upgrade, the delegate approved constitution will also be submitted on chain for community consideration. So if you've missed this, we had Charles Hoskinson, IOG, the Cardano Foundation, all meeting up in Buenos Aires, Argentina, with over 100 plus delegate representatives, right, from all around the globe coming together to basically agree on what they would like to propose as the official Cardano constitution once this bootstrapping phase has taken effect. So having said that, there's going to be an opportunity for us to actually verify or to ratify this particular constitution all on chain using all of the infrastructure that we will be deploying as a part of the Plomin hard fork, which again has now been submitted as a hard fork action on the mainnet. Again, I'm going to break down what some of those actions are and exactly who and who cannot participate and exactly how you can get involved with governance. Now, it talks about some of the potential hard fork enactment dates, which include the 4th of January, the 9th of January, the 14th, the 19th, the 24th, or perhaps at the very latest, the 29th of January. So we know that if it does pass, it'll be taking place sometime in January. And this is mainly due to how long it would take for us to meet the quorum if the community does come to an agreement that we do want to go ahead and enact this particular hard fork. So what exactly can we expect to happen next? Well, as I've just mentioned there, anywhere between January 4th and the 29th, we're expecting SPOs and the ICC to come together to ratify or potentially change the delegate approved constitution. And it states here that once the on-chain voting thresholds have been met, the hard fork will be enacted one epoch after that particular period with approximately around a 5 days notice. Now, this is extremely important here, and I've got to mention this, and this is particular to staking rewards. So if you aren't aware, we need to raise the numbers when it comes to participants engaging with Cardano in governance. And right now, when you're staking to a stake pool, you're able to come in there every 5 days or every epoch and quickly claim all of your rewards. Now, with this new hard fork upgrade, they're going to be changing things a little bit in order to boost the amount of people that are actually participating or delegating to a DREP or delegate representative. Now, I've broken down what a DREP is in multiple other videos. I'll leave the links to those down below. But it states here that the community should note that all those staking rewards will continue to be accrued or to be earned as usual. In order to actually withdraw them following this hard fork, ADA holders will have to delegate to a DREP. This is to ensure that anybody who sort of stepped away from, Cardano as a whole, when they come back, that they participate in governance. So yes, you will be able to continue to accrue your ADA staking rewards, whether you're staking with the Dapp Central Stake Pool or any other stake pool. However, after the Plomin hard fork, you will have to delegate to a DREP or register as a direct voter in order to actually claim or withdraw your ADA rewards. So do not be alarmed if you do see that, or if you have any issues claiming your ADA rewards after this particular hard fork. Now, it states here that up until the hard fork, rewards can be withdrawn or claimed as normal, although following the hard fork again, you will have to delegate to a DREP. Now, if you don't delegate, you will still continue to accrue those ADA rewards. You just won't be able to actually claim them or sort of take them from the stake pool operator that you're delegated to in order to spend them as you wish. Now, in terms of readiness updates, they do have a fully dedicated page here, which I'll be breaking down, which highlights exactly who we need to get upgraded and exactly what thresholds need to be met. Now, as a brief recap and a reminder here, we have 7 different proposal actions. And again, I'm not going to break them all down here, but the one that we're specifically focusing on now is the hard fork initiation. So if I scroll down here, you'll notice here that the passage of this type of governance action initiates a hard fork or an upgrade for the core Cardano node or for the core Cardano protocol. Now here, who can actually vote? We have DREPs, the Constitutional Committee, and the SPOs. Now, one minor gotcha here is the fact that because this is actually introducing full-on governance, right now DREPs will not be able to vote for this particular hard fork upgrade, but moving forward, any additional hard fork upgrade, we should be able to see all 3 stakeholders, which again are DREPs, the Constitutional Committee, and SPOs, all being able to voice their votes in terms of whether or not they agree with that or not. As always, if you guys enjoy content like this, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave those down below. I am also a single stake pool operator, so if you'd like to extend your support a little bit further, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central Stake Pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. As always, I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Okay, jumping right back in here, I mentioned earlier the fact that ADA Stat has sort of won my heart when it comes to governance and keeping up with what exactly has been going on. So as it stands, we've got a total of 7 governance actions. I'll leave the link to this down below. 1 is active, 1 has been ratified, and we can see that right now we are currently waiting for the final decision to be made about the hard fork initiation, again, which is the most recent governance action submitted for the Plomin upgrade. So if you aren't aware, this was actually labeled as the Chang hard fork number 2. After the passing of Matthew Plomin here, there was a governance action to rename the Chang hard fork to the Plomin hard fork, which actually passed with the majority of the community coming to an agreement. Now, since then, we have this new hard fork action, which has now been initiated. And we can now see that, again, DREPs can't vote just yet. But in terms of SPOs, we've got 9% currently on board. And if you're an SPO and you haven't actually voted yet, by default, you will be set to a vote of no. So you have the option to abstain, vote no, or vote yes as a stake pool operator. And then in terms of how constitutional this particular action is, we don't have any of the 7 members who are currently appointed to the ICC having voted just yet. Now, we're, in terms of a threshold, aiming to pass 66%. Once we get that green light there from the ICC, we're good to go. And at that point, it's really up to the SPOs or stake pool operators to determine whether or not they feel comfortable moving forward with this particular action. Now, one thing that I love about ADA Stats here that they've done is that they can actually show all of the most recent votes that have come in from SPOs and exactly when and what they voted for. And then if you have any questions about the metadata associated with this particular proposal, they've got that here listed there as well, which again breaks down all the benefits and enhancements coming out here with the Plomin hard fork. Now, if I jump over to the Cardano upgrades documentation here, again, I'll leave the link to this down below. There's the readiness page, which breaks down all of the different stakeholders, which include the SPOs, tooling, wallets, dApps, and projects that have to basically come on board before we're able to kick off and initiate this particular hard fork. So again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to break all of this down. I'll leave the link to it down below. But as you guys can see here, we've upgraded the preview network as well as the pre-prod, and we're now awaiting the hard fork to take place on the main net. If I scroll down just a little bit here, we've got some of the core tooling, which has already been upgraded, some of the core libraries, which have also been upgraded. And then we've got some of the wallets, which include Eternal, Lace, Nami, NuFi, Vesper, which are all basically ready to go. In terms of hardware wallets, the majority of them, or basically all of them, are ready to roll. And then the one last piece here is surrounding the dApps and the different projects, which right now we don't have too much information on that there. Now, if I jump over to Cardano Scan, what I love about this is that they've got a Chang 2 readiness page, which is dedicated specifically to this hard fork. Now, they probably need to change the name there since it's now been renamed to the Plomin hard fork. But we can see that in terms of exchange readiness, last upgrade, or for Chang upgrade number 1, we were expecting around 80% of the liquidity to be upgraded from centralized exchanges. Right now, we have 6 exchanges that are ready. If I type in ready here, we can actually see who they are. There we go. We've got Bitrue, Sex.io, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Gate.io, and Upbit, which have all upgraded. We're missing bigger players like Binance. And again, you can see all the progress here. It does look like they have started, but they're not done. But as you guys can see here, they hold 21% of the liquidity. So that will definitely give us a huge bump up here in terms of exchange readiness. Looking at the right-hand side there, we've got stake pool readiness with 74% of the total amount of ADA staked to stake pools ready to roll. And that's equivalent to about 812 different stake pools, which are now ready to upgrade. Looking at the actual number of blocks that have come in here as we get ready to write this particular update down, we do have 75% of the blocks, basically the majority of the blocks, being minted by stake pools operating using Cardano node version 10.0 or above. So we are in really good standings. At this point, it looks like we're really just waiting for the votes to come in on the hard fork upgrade action. And if you haven't already, you can actually jump over to GovTools, right, to get a better understanding or to actually cast your vote as a DREP or an active voter, right? So that said, that will bring us here to the end for today's video. Want to keep this brief. Again, happy holidays to everybody who's tuning in here. As I'm taking a break, I'll be firing back up and getting back to my normal schedule after the new year kicks off. I'll actually be taking a little bit of travel and some time off here, but hopefully you're able to spend this wonderful time with your families. Hopefully you guys are still able to keep up here with the news when it comes to Cardano, but that'll do it here for this particular update. Again, as always, if you find this to be helpful, please make sure to smash that thumbs up on the way out. Consider subscribing to the channel for more. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. That'll do it here for this particular update. Again, Merry Christmas to you all. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody. Take care.